Hi. I thought I would talk a little bit tonight about how I went from piano teachers who, when I was second grade, when I started taking piano lessons, extremely shy. They're a shy child and you want to get them out of it. You might want to think about music. But when I started taking my piano lessons, I had a teacher who really wanted rigor. We'll call it rigor. And when I read the music, if I deviated from the music at all, I didn't get a star. Second grader wants a star. So I learned how to, while I was there with her, to play what was on that page, nothing more, nothing less, expressive, just like it was written. But then when I'd be at home, I would sometimes turn out the light and play, just fiddle around with my fingers on the piano in the dark. And so I thought I would show you a little bit about my transition from sight reading mainly and a fear of playing by ear to going into a Pentecostal church where somebody would say, give me the key of F, and you'd play them an F chord and they'd go off on a song you might have never heard in your life. So it was interesting. And one of the songs was this Jesus on the inside, working on the outside. Oh, what a change in my life. And I did pretty well with the three major chords. Mind you, I had played at home in the dark, and I would play let me go with that first. So I would, when I was a teenager probably, I would play songs like this. Now, it's not gonna sound like the record, okay, because I was playing by ear then. So anyway, you get the idea. Then when I went to the Pentecostal church though, to do that in front of somebody after I had a metronome going at home. Y'all know what a metronome is? Click, 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 click. And you have to stay, it's like a drum beat that you have to stay with. So now all of a sudden, people may start out in one key and the next thing you know, they're singing in another key, if you know what I'm talking about. It was fun, but this Jesus on the inside, working on the outside, got me every time for the longest. And I'm gonna show you what I did because it's funny. Where I would be totally lost, and I just quit playing. They'd go right here, because it deviated from the three chords. If you noticed, I don't know if you noticed it, that whole song was almost. It's tricky. Right here. And I had no idea where it was going. So I went home and I worked it out. But I thought that was just kind of a funny story about my musical meanderings. And that's what this is about a little bit. Me now, but also what led me here. Because I would ask people, Pentecostals who are very proud of the fact that they play by ear, and think that if you, I will say the ones I encountered who did not read music, look down upon you if you read music. And I even had a couple of them tell me, you'll never play by ear. They look down on you if you read music. And they say, you'll never play by ear if you read music. Oh no, you'll never. And in a way they were right. I never had the traditional Pentecostal sound, and I don't to this day. But I did play by ear, and I was playing by ear already, even though I was reading music. So if anybody's telling you what you can't do, just go show them. Don't argue with them. Just go show them what you will do. And so let's see. I would like to say that how I got to that point though is I went back home and I would just sit there and try to sound it out. And that's a skill that to this day, like the other day, Jeff and I were watching Phantom of the Opera, and he got up, walked over to the piano, and just played a da-da-da-da-da-da. So I was like, okay, wait a minute now, because Jeff does play completely by ear, and just started playing, by the way. Okay, that was off. That's basically what it is, and he just walked over here and went. I was off a little bit still, but you just sit and what you hear, you play. So if you want to learn to play by ear, the moral of the story is most hymns can be done with 3 chords. And when you get to those parts where you're going like, oh, that doesn't fit one of the 3 chords, well, you can do like I didn't just quit playing until you go home and pluck around and find it. And then as you do that more and more, you will start to hear those and they will become what I call a part of your repertoire. So let me think of an example of how I can show you Amazing Grace. Okay, Amazing Grace can really be, everybody knows that, right? There are your 3 chords. I'm playing a melody behind it, so you'll hear it. But if you want to, once you really start playing, what you find out is there are all kinds of some people will call them cross chords, some people will call them off chords, some people will call them like relative minors. But if you add some runs and arpeggios and all those kind of whatever you want to call them, scales and arpeggios, and as the more you play, you'll learn to add to it, and then you'll learn to hit those minors, which produces a sound that's much more like. Thanks for listening in as I meander with music.